Yani, Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and fellow guests. Good evening.
Good evening.
A man sat alone in a restaurant late at night. It was a Chinese restaurant. He noticed that the restaurant was celebrating Chinese New Year's. And a question struck his mind. How was the order of the animals selected? He pondered for a bit before proceeding to ask the old man at the counter. Sir, he cleared his throat. Can you please tell me a little bit more about the Chinese zodiac and how these animals were selected? The old man softly chuckled and got up from his seat and sat down next to him. Many, many years ago, thousands and thousands of years ago, the Jade Emperor, who ruled the heaven and never visited Earth, wanted to see animals from the kingdom. And so, he invited 13 animals to race against each other for 12 places to honor him in a banquet. The race was, they were supposed to cross a river. So on the next day, as the race started, the mouse and the cat, who were, by the way, best friends, thought that they would not make the 12. And so they came up with a plan to ask the ox, who was very kind in nature, to help them cross the river. The ox agreed and allowed for the mouse and the cat to ride upon his back and cross the river. But the fears of the mouse grew stronger as the ox proceeded to cross halfway. It grew so strong that he actually pushed his best friend, the cat, into the river. And as the ox was about to reach the shore, the mouse jumped across and landed first place. He took the first year of the Chinese zodiac, while the ox had to settle for the second. Shortly after, huffing and puffing out of the river, came the tired tiger, who claimed that the currents of the river were too strong for him. The emperor, pleased with his appearance, awarded him the third year. But as he awarded him the third year, the rabbit hopped onto shore. The rabbit explained that he had jumped across the river by stones and by blocks and wood, and he had taken the fourth place. Hovering in the air, landing on ground, was the dragon, who came in fifth. When the Jade Emperor saw the dragon come in fifth, he asked him, Sir Dragon, why did you come in fifth? You could have flown across the river. To which the dragon replied, I had to stop and make rain for the people who were praying for the rain. And I also saw a rabbit hopping across the river, so I blew a log in his way to help him reach safety. Pleased with his sense of responsibility, the Jade Emperor honored him the fifth year. Soon after, the horse emerged from the river, just about to claim the sixth year, when all of a sudden he slipped back because the snake that was coiled around his hoof made his appearance, taking his sixth place and leaving him in seventh. Then, the crows of a rooster alerted the Jaded Emperor to the shore. And on it was a raft with a rooster, a goat, and a monkey. The rooster had found the raft, but knew he couldn't make it to shore by himself. And so, the goat and the monkey agreed to help him. And with their friendship, the goat and monkey paddling and pushing weed out of the way, they made it to shore. That friendship touched the jaded empire's heart. So he awarded the goat, the 8th year, the monkey, the 9th year, and the rooster, the 10th. Lastly, before that, a dog comes out of the river, happy, wagging his tail. He was busy playing in the water to actually notice that the race was going on. He had forgotten about the race and landed it in 11th place. They waited for a while before the pig came along and claimed the 12th place, because the pig had to stop to eat on the way over. But as the pig claimed the 12th place, the cat crawled onto the shore, finally making it to shore. But as all 12 places were claimed, the cat no longer had a place and was forever furious with the mouse. And which is why cats chase mice when they see him today. The man was amazed by the story that he just heard. He didn't know such a cultured story existed. But before he could even comment on that story, the old Chinese man smiled and said, "Well, that's actually a lie we've been telling people for 100 years. You see, in the Han Dynasty, time period, which was 202 BC, the Chinese astrologers kept time. And they kept time in 12 digits. And for their entertainment, they started naming those 12 digits after animals. So first started with the rats. The rats came out to play at a particular time. The ox chewed at a particular time, followed by the tiger hunts his prey at the next time. The rabbits, well, there's a story about the rabbits, the mythological rabbits on the moon in China. That's very famous, so that's why the 4th got the rabbits. The 5th is when the dragons hovered to create rain. The 6th is when the snakes come out of the cave. The 7th is when this horse stands while every animal rests. The 8th is when the monkeys come out to play. The 9th is when the goats eat grass and pee. That was very important. The 10th is when the 10th is when the roosters go to sleep. The 11th is when the dog guards the house. And the 12th is when the pigs fall asleep. From that numbering system, they proceeded to name the years after the animals. And this happened thousands and thousands of years ago. As for cats, they weren't even introduced until 500 years later.